Yo, what's up, Broncos country? This is Eddie with Colorado Sports Connection, and I am joined again tonight by Baylor. He joined me last week to talk about the NFL head coaches, but tonight's show is going to be about all 32 teams and their record predictions and who do we think are going to make the playoffs and records and everything like that. So let's get into it. Starting with Week 1. Now, starting in Week 1, Baylor, the opening season or the opening game for the season is the Ravens at the Chiefs. Before I give my prediction on this game, what is yours? Baltimore at Chiefs.
I take the Chiefs.
Chiefs. I actually have Baltimore in that game. Only for the simple fact that the Chiefs the last couple of years have been starting off really slow.
It's at Arrowhead though, right?
Yeah, but so was last year with Detroit. And they came off a Super Bowl victory. That's why I think I trust the Ravens more, honestly. So, moving on to the next game. Like these ain't in particular order from what day of the week because we got a Friday night game Week 1, which is wild to me. But going to the next game on the list, I got the Patriots at the Bengals. Who do you got in that game?
Give me the Bagels.
That's also who I take in. Like I don't. The Patriots are not going to be very good this year. Their roster is not. I mean, I can't even name one person outside maybe Drake May on that team. So, but yeah, I got the Bengals going there too. Going to the next game, Jaguars at Dolphins. Who do you got in that one?
Fins.
Yep, I'm going with the Fins in that one myself. Even with I think they're going to be taking a step back on defense this year. I still think their offense is going to be really, really explosive. Going on to the next game, we got the Texans at the Colts.
Texans. Texans are going to be a good team. Colts are not going to be a good team.
You don't think so, even with Anthony Richardson in there? No? I mean, I agree with you. I also have the Texans winning that week, but I'm hoping Anthony Richardson and Shane Steichen at some point become a good duo together because that'd be fun to watch with the Colts.
They will. I just don't think it's this year yet.
Yeah, it's probably going to be another year since we really didn't get a chance to see what Anthony Richardson can do last year. This one, I hope they both tie or they both lose, honestly. But the next game I got is the Raiders at the Chargers. Who do you got?
The Chargers.
Yep, I got the Chargers. I think it's going to take a few years, at least if not 1 year, for the Chargers to actually get to where they want to be. But even still, with the Raiders, the way they're stacking up this year, I'm taking the Chargers in that game Week 1, and it's in Los Angeles. So, the next game on the docket is the Titans at the Bears. This one's a good one. Who do you got?
Bears.
Taking Bears with Caleb Williams. That's who I also have took. I don't think Will Levis is it. I think the Titans are going to be searching for a quarterback by next offseason because I don't think he's going to be the guy, personally. Now, this team I'm getting ready to mention is they have to start off hot, in my opinion, if they want to, stay above 500 by the end of the season, which they've always been above 500. Steelers at Falcons. Who do you got?
Steelers at Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons, yeah.
That's who I took too, and that's not bowing well. Even I know it's Week 1, but that's not bowing well for the Steelers. Going on to the next game, you got the Cardinals at the Bills. I mean, this one should be pretty easy. Who do you got?
Bills.
That's also who I have taken. Even though I like Jonathan Gannon and the Cardinals, like I said last year, they fought hard even though they didn't win that many games. But it's still Josh Allen. I can't bet against him. Here's the game of the week in Bronco fans' opinions. Broncos at the Seahawks. Who do you got?
I took us in that game. I feel like that's a game people probably would disagree with. But that's a home. Is that a home game?
No, we're in Seattle for that game.
Yeah. Seattle's just, I mean, they don't have Pete Carroll anymore. He kind of brought the magic out of that team. We've got a Pete Carroll-less, Geno Smith-led team, right?
And he wasn't very good last year, Geno. He was good in 2022, but he was not very good last year.
I agree.
But yeah, I also have the Broncos. Like, I think Bo Nix is going to be starting the season. I think they're going to put him in there. And Sean Payton, Yeah. Sean Payton, his second year in Denver, basically the same roster. I mean, you got a new quarterback, but I'm taking Denver in that one. I think he's going to be fighting hard this year because I think it's a, evaluation year, but Sean Payton, he's probably got other plans. So I'm taking the Broncos in that game. The next game is the Dallas Cowboys at the Cleveland Browns.
Give me the Cowboys in that one.
I think this is where we first disagree. I got the Browns. Only reason why is because I don't know if CD Lamb is going to be playing week 1. We already heard that he's probably going to be holding out in training camp. And if they don't get a deal done, I don't see him starting week 1. That's probably gonna be an issue week 1, but maybe he'll be back later in the season. That's what I'm thinking. They're probably like, oh crap, we lost without CD. We need him, pay him. But I got the Browns in that game.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a home game for them.
Yeah, and I like their defense. The Browns, like I even last year we destroyed. I shouldn't say destroyed them, but yeah, we beat the crap out of them. But that defense still scared me. Next game, this is a big one for a lot of people in the NFL. The Jets go to San Francisco. I believe that's a Monday night game.
San Fran.
Yep, that's who I got too. I'm not. A lot of people are talking about them having a Super Bowl hangover. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're, it's the Jets. Like Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, coming off the tear of Achilles.
It's a lot of traveling too.
Yeah, a lot.
So, I do think the Jets will be good this year, though.
Do I?
I do. I think the Jets will be good this year.
We'll find out what my take is at the end of this because I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. The next game, this is the Friday night game. I think it's in Brazil. The Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Who do you got?
Packers.
That's also who I have taken. I took the Packers, in that game because it's basically a away game for both teams. It's in a different country. So I don't think that really mattered. The next game, this one's really easy for me. Panthers at the Saints.
Really easy. That's interesting. Panthers at the Saints. Give me New Orleans.
That is who I took also. I feel like even though they're in cap hell and Dennis Allen, I believe, is like on an extreme hot seat, I think they have the better overall roster. And we don't know who is the head coach in Carolina? Isn't it Dave Canales? We went over this last week.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think either team will be good.
No, but if I had to pick between those two, I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah.
The next game is the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants.
Vikings.
That's who I got too. I don't think it really matters if JJ starts or if it's Sam Darnold that starts. I like their coach better. Like I like Daboll, but O'Connell, he's a better coach in my opinion, and they have a better roster, especially now since Saquon's gone. The next game is the Commanders, I believe, at the Buccaneers.
Bucks.
That is who I took also. And the way they finished last year and Baker Mayfield looking, and I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to be the starter in Washington, but even if he is, like, I don't know. Like their defense, I'm not really scared of the Commanders' defense, to be honest. And I think Baker Mayfield will have a big game that game. And the last game of week 1 is the Rams at the Lions. Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit. Who do you got?
Detroit.
That's who I took after what they did last year. Like I like the Rams, but I think they're going to start off slow. I don't think their defense is going to be as good this year because now that Aaron Donald's gone and Raheem Morris, their DC's gone. I'm taking the Lions in that game. Now moving on to week 2, Buffalo Bills at the Dolphins. Who do you got in that game?
At the Dolphins?
Yes.
Dolphins.
I got the Bills taking that. I know that's probably not a big popular thing, but I trust Josh.
Do you have the Bills sweeping the season series then?
I think I have the Dolphins beating them in Buffalo. I think they split. I can't remember off the top of my head how I'll have to look at the schedule later down the road when we get to it, but I'm pretty sure I have the Dolphins and Bills splitting. But
Yeah.
I got them taking that, I got them taking week 2, the Bills.
I have
I
them.
think that
I have them splitting, but they're both teams excel playing in their home weather, and it's both complete opposites. So it's really hard to play in Miami, especially in the early season, week 1. It's going to be 100+ degrees on the Bills sideline. If you're going to split the season series with the team, you're gonna lose. The cold team's gonna lose the hot game at the start of the season, and the hot team's gonna lose the cold game at the end of the season.
I don't know. Maybe I got it backwards, but I just think it's going to be a crazy season this year, and that's why I got the Bills winning in Miami. And I think like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I got the Bills and Dolphins splitting. The next game, I got the Jets at the Titans.
Jets.
That's who I took also. Like I said, I just don't think the Titans are going to be very good this year. They just signed a couple days ago. Who was it they signed? They signed the safety, Jamal Adams, I believe it was. I don't trust their quarterback situation. I don't know what their head coach is going to be like, Callahan. Next game on the docket is the Browns at the Jags.
Jags.
That's who I took also. Down in Jacksonville, I don't know. I think the Jags are going to be somewhat good this year, so I got them. The next game, this one should be relatively, well, I would say easy, but the team I'm picking to lose here is always fighting, and we should know because they're in our division. The Raiders at the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yep. That's who I got to. It's in Baltimore, so I don't think they're going to lose to the Raiders in Baltimore. And so the big week 2 contest for Broncos country, the Steelers at the Broncos. Who do you got in this game?
I have the Broncos winning this one. The home
Same
opener.
here. Yep. I have the Broncos winning it because especially if Russell Wilson's playing in that game, Sean Payton's going to want to win that. That's probably one of the biggest games he's got circled on his calendar outside of maybe the Saints game. So
I'm picking
the Broncos.
I think we saw that Russell Wilson started to get in his own head for probably the first time in his career in Denver. And if you're going to get in your head anywhere, it's going to be at the team that you just stunk the joint up at and are still receiving a ton of money from. And, I think that's really going to go to his head. It's going to be a really harsh environment for that game. So it'll be rough.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, I also think Peyton, he's gonna be ready for that game, especially if Russ is starting. If it's Justin Fields, he might be not as eager for, but if it's Russ, I'm 100% on board with that. The next game, Bengals at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
That's who I got. I think Joe Burrow's coming back. I think he'll win week 1, but week 2 against the Chiefs and Arrowhead, I don't think that's going to be the time. So I think the Chiefs do take that one. Next game, Colts at the Packers.
Packers.
That is who I got as well. I think they're going to, I just love what Matt LaFleur is doing with that young team. And we both agree that the Colts really ain't going to be good this year. Next game, Chargers at Panthers.
Chargers.
That's who I got as well. Seahawks at New England.
Seahawks.
That's who I got as well. Seahawks. Next game, I'm going to kind of go through these quick so we can get to the end, and go through our, get the record predictions and the playoffs and everything. Bears at Texans.
Texans.
That's who I got as well. Give me a second here. Come on, you stupid phone. Okay, next game, 49ers at 49ers at the Vikings.
49ers.
That's who I took as well. Saints at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
That's who I took as well. This one should be relatively easy. It's a divisional game. Giants at Commanders.
Commanders.
That's who I have as well. Bucks at Detroit.
Detroit.
Yep, I got Detroit in that game as well. Rams at the Cardinals.
Rams.
That's who I took as well. This game I had trouble picking, but I came to the conclusion I just think the home team is going to win here. Falcons at the Eagles.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well. That I had to take the home team there. I think Nick Sirianni's got to start fast and hot this year to keep his job. Going into week 3, the first game on the list is Patriots at Jets.
Jets. Jets.
That's who I got as well. This is where I think the Steelers get their first win. Chargers at Steelers. I think the Steelers beat them here.
Chargers.
Okay. So you got you got the Steelers starting off 0-3, man. Holy crap. That's not looking good for Mike Tomlin. Next game, Jags at Bills.
Bills.
I got the Jags taking this one.
In Buffalo. Interesting.
Yep. I do. I love Peterson with Trevor Lawrence. Next game, Green Bay at Tennessee.
Green Bay.
Yep, that's who I got as well. Now, this one you're probably going to be a little shocked at. I just think that, every team has one game where, they overlook their opponent and it's a trap game. Texans at Vikings.
I see what you're doing here. Texans.
Yep. I got the Vikings, sadly. I mean, I really want to watch CJ Stroud ball this year, but I just feel like they're going to drop a few this year. The Texans are. The next game, this one for me is going to be a fun matchup, even though we don't think the Colts are going to be very good. Bears at Colts.
Oh. I think that might be one of the few wins I gave the Colts this year, if I remember right.
Okay, I got the Bears taking that one.
In my gut, I feel like the Bears are a better team, but I can't have the Colts going 0-17, so I had to give them a few home games.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I completely understand. Trust me.
And Indy does they pull a crowd usually, and they do have it can be a tough place to play, especially if they're piping in noise.
Oh, true. Yeah, that is true. Next game. This one sucks. This one hurts me to say, but Broncos at Tampa Bay. Who do you got?
You have us losing. Oh, we're going to the East. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, that's fair. Tampa. I'll take Tampa.
Okay. Now that's where the Broncos suffer their first loss of the year, in my opinion. Giants at Browns.
Giants at Browns. Browns.
Okay, that's who I took too. Now, this one I think we might disagree on. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling. Dolphins going to Seattle. Now, remember, this is week 3.
Dolphins.
That's who I took too. Okay, so I figured, you would have said, cold weather, but it's still summer basically. So, next game. Oh God, this game is going to be terrible. I don't think anybody's going to watch this one. Panthers at Raiders.
Gross. Raiders.
That's who I got too. I got the Raiders taking that one. This one, I don't know. We might differ on this one too. Ravens going to Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Ravens.
I got the Cowboys. Just at home in Jerry World. I don't think the Ravens are going to go undefeated. I think they're good, but I don't see them beating the Cowboys in Jerry World. The next one, Chiefs at Falcons.
Chiefs.
Yep. I got the Chiefs taking that one as well. Commanders at Bengals.
Bengals.
That's who I got. Bengals. Eagles at the Saints.
Eagles.
Okay, I got the Eagles too. And this is a good one. 49ers at Rams.
Niners.
I got the Rams.
Why? Because they always beat the 49ers?
They always beat the 49ers. I can And I don't think if they're going to play them, in San Francisco, I don't think the Rams are going to beat them in San Fran.
You don't think they're going to beat them either time?
No, I think the Rams will beat them in Los Angeles, but I don't think they'll beat the 49ers in San Francisco.
Oh, that game was in LA.
Yeah, the first one's in LA.
Sorry.
Between those two.
Okay. I gave the Rams one there too.
Okay.
I couldn't make the Niners go undefeated, and so I think I gave them a few away divisional losses.
Well, I gave them a few losses, and I'm pretty sure all of them are away, but I don't think they were all divisional. Last game of the week.
It was that one. I think I gave them maybe against the Chiefs. Do they play the Chiefs this year?
I'm not sure. I'm sure they probably do.
I think I remember them. They have a couple really good opponents that they're playing on the road this year, and I just auto gave them losses because if I didn't, they'd go undefeated. So
yeah, well, I understand that. And I do think the 49ers and Chiefs are playing this year because they always do that. They always put the Super Bowl, the two teams in the Super Bowl from the previous year in a rematch in the following season. Last game of the week, Lions at the Cardinals.
Lions.
I got the Lions as well. Moving on to week 4. First game on the docket, Jags at Texans.
Texans.
I got the Texans as well. This is a game where I think we're probably going to differ too. Saints at Colts.
I think I gave this one to the Colts too.
Okay. Maybe we didn't differ because I gave it to the Colts as well.
Every single one of the Colts games, I felt like they can lose. So like I said, I had to give them a few wins, so I gave them a few wins against some weaker opponents at home. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, well, I mean, their defense, Steelers' defense is great. Their offense scares, their offense ain't going to be that great. Moving on to the next game. Now, a lot of people are probably going to hate me for saying this, but you got the Broncos going to the Jets. I got the Jets winning this one.
Jets, Broncos play terrible on the East Coast, A, and B, I do think the Jets are going to be a solid team. They beat us last year without Aaron Rodgers based on a run game alone, and now they have a legitimate air attack with quality receivers that will actually be able to get the ball to them. So I really think that one could almost be ugly. Not as bad as 50-20 last year, but that could be an ugly game for the Broncos.
I agree. I don't have faith in it, and it's going to be really bad, Nathaniel. Like, I hope the Broncos pull this one out because it's going to look really bad if Hackett beats us twice in a row. Next game on the docket, Chiefs at Chargers. Who do you got in this game?
At Chargers, the Chargers.
I got the Chargers too. Wow, that's crazy. I thought you were going to pick the Chiefs there for a minute.
Division, the AFC West always plays itself so close. The AFC West, the AFC North, and the NFC North, those three divisions just absolutely brawl with each other. It doesn't matter how good your team is, you could always lose a divisional game.
That is true. I will give you that 110%. Next game, Browns at Raiders.
At Raiders, give me the Raiders.
Yeah. I got the Browns taking that one.
I'd love to see it. Obviously,
I think they will. I think they're gonna even if Gardner Minshew's starting, I think the Browns defense is gonna harass the Raiders offense. Next game, Bills at Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens there too. Titans at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yep, that's who I got as well. Next game, this one's easy. Bengals at Carolina.
Bengals.
I got the Bengals too. Patriots going to San Francisco.
Oh, that might be a blowout. San Fran.
Yeah, I'll put a guess on it right now. 40-3.
Right. Seriously.
Next game, Dallas at Giants.
Dallas.
I got Dallas as well. Vikings go to Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I got Green Bay as well. Rams at Bears.
Rams.
I took the Rams as well. Eagles at Bucks.
Bucks.
I got the Eagles winning that one.
Could see it totally. But I think those teams
Yeah.
are a lot closer matched. I think the Bucks are a little underrated, and I think the Eagles are a little overrated. Give that a game on the road for the Eagles. I think it'll be. I think honestly that'll be a really good game.
I think it will too, but I just think Nick Sirianni is going to be fighting for his job. Not saying Todd Bowles ain't going to be, but you know, I just feel like Sirianni's definitely going to be fighting for his job. Next game, Saints at Falcons.
Falcons.
I got the Falcons too. This one I think is going to be the upset of the week, even though because I think the Commanders are a better team, but Commanders at Cardinals.
At Cardinals, I think I gave Arizona this one.
Okay, I think that's going to be the upset of the week. I think the Cardinals take that one as well. Seattle at Detroit. Last game of the week.
Detroit.
I got Detroit as well. Moving on to week 5. Bills at Texans. I like this game. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I would love to watch this one too. I'm going to go with the Texans, though, given home field advantage in the heat of Texas. Bills coming from the north. That's a long distance to travel. That's a hot place to play for a cold weather team. Should be a fantastic game, though. Could see it going either way. Got to give edge to the home team Texans, though.
Okay. I got you there. I got the Texans as well in that game. You know, I think Stephon Diggs is on a revenge tour. This game, I think we're going to disagree on. Colts at Jaguars. I got the Colts.
Yeah, I got the Jags.
Okay. This is a good game. This game is another game I'm going to be looking forward to watching, only because it's a divisional game. Ravens at Bengals.
Bengals. I think I have these teams splitting and winning their home games this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do too, but I got the Bengals here too. This one, I mean, this is going to be week 5. This is October. It could be cooling off, but Miami at the Patriots.
Miami is going to own the Patriots this year.
I agree. I think they're going to beat the crap out of them in that game. Both games, honestly.
Agreed.
Now, this is the big game of the week for me personally. I think this is where we finally snap the streak. Raiders at Broncos. Broncos win.
Yeah, I think we split with our whole division this year.
I agree. I do. I'm pretty sure I got every team splitting in this. I think all the home teams in our division win their home games, and all the
I always do one exception when I do the splits for our division. I always flip Denver and LA because LA always we always have more orange in the stands, and I feel like we always win in Los Angeles. And I feel like I always go to Broncos games because my dad always asks me if there's games I prefer to go to. I like going to the Charger games because I like watching Justin Herbert play in person. I feel like we always lose those damn games too. So
I can't. Well, the first Broncos home game I went to was the Week 18 game against the Chargers in 2022, and we demolished the Chargers in that game.
Yeah,
that was a great freaking game.
Yeah, split. So,
but yeah, I got the Broncos winning there against the Raiders. Jets at the Minnesota Vikings.
Jets.
This is where we differ. I'm taking the home team. I'm taking Minnesota. This one's going to be a big one too. Browns at Commanders.
Browns.
I got the Commanders winning that. I'm not going to make them lose every game because I don't think they're going to go 0-7 or 0-17. So
I agree.
Cowboys at the Steelers.
Steelers.
Now I'm taking the Steelers too. That's in October, and I don't think Cowboys are going to play well in the Steel City.
No.
Saints at the Kansas City Chiefs.
KC.
I got KC winning that, even though I hate them. Next game, Bucks at Falcons.
Falcons.
I got them too. Carolina at the Bears.
Bears.
I got the Bears as well. And here it is. Cardinals versus the 49ers. Or Cardinals going to San Fran.
Yeah, San Fran.
I got San Fran too. Giants at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks as well. I don't know. Like I've been saying we're going to differ, but I think maybe we might share a brain on this one. Packers at Los Angeles Rams.
I think I might be a little higher on the Packers than you. I think I took the Packers in this one.
That's who I got. I took the Packers.
Oh,
I just really,
okay.
I really liked what they did last year with the youngest team.
I do too. I think I'm the two teams I'm really high on this year that I think people across the board might be not quite as high on are the Packers and the Jets.
Okay. The Jets, I wouldn't say I'm high on, but the Packers definitely. I'm right there with you. Moving on to week 6, first game on the docket: Colts at Titans.
Titans.
I got the Titans as well. Texans at Patriots.
Texans.
I got the Texans too. Now this one, I have a feeling we are going to differ. I have a gut feeling because I don't think you're going to agree with me on this one. Steelers at Las Vegas.
Steelers.
I got the Raiders, unfortunately. I just feel like, they're going to be fighting. I mean, they're not going to do anything this year, but I think they're going to just be fighting to, not lose every game. And, Antonio Pierce, I like him as a coach. I think he's going to fight hard this year.
I agree. I think week 6 is when you start to see Mike Tomlin really start to understand how to work with his team. And I think that's why he's such a good coach. And even when they start out really awfully, his ability to put talent that he has and identify new talent is incredible. And I think around the midseason mark is when he starts to hit his stride. So generally I tend to like if this, especially in a year like this where the Steelers aren't particularly stacked, but they definitely have some veteran talent there.
Yeah.
Once Tomlin learns how to work with Russell or whoever he ends up having in, Justin Fields, whatever, I think it's going to be a lot. I think they're going to be a lot more consistent starting this point in the year.
Okay. I mean, it could go either way, in my opinion. I have a feeling Antonio Pierce is going to be. The previous week he lost. I got them losing to the Broncos, and I think he's going to be fighting this week to win. Next game: Chargers at Broncos.
Chargers at Broncos. Chargers.
I got the Broncos winning this one because I don't we swept them last year in Los Angeles and in Denver, and then the following year, 2022, we beat them. Like I said, week 18 because I was there.
I think the difference of a competent head coach is pretty massive for Justin Herbert. And I think that seeing them first at home this year is going to be beneficial for us because I think we always play the Chargers better the second time around anyway. And but getting that first game at home against the new coach and not having to go into their place against the new head coach is going to be I think it's going to be better for us, but I do think LA will win this game.
All right. Next game: Bills at Jets.
Jets.
Okay, I got the Bills in that game. Because I think they're going to win. Honestly, I got the Bills winning the division this year. Jags at Bears.
Bears.
I got the Jags winning that one. I feel like the Bears are going to struggle at times this year, especially with Matt Eberflus. That's just my opinion. Like, I think he should have been fired. Like we talked about last week, he should have been fired last year, but I think the Bears are going to struggle at some points.
I think it's really hard to play in Chicago at this time of year.
True. But I think Doug Peterson being working in Philadelphia, I think he'll have his team ready to go. Commanders at Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well. Browns at Eagles.
Eagles.
I got the Browns winning that game.
The Eagles have a really easy schedule this year.
They do.
They
I
always
agree.
do,
That's why I think
because of their division, they always do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna have the Eagles going 16-1 or 15-2. So I got the Browns winning this game. Bengals at Giants.
Bengals.
I got the Bengals as well. This is another big one. I think I got these teams splitting if I remember right. San Francisco at the Seahawks.
San Francisco.
I got the Seahawks. I think I got them split. I think the San Francisco 49ers beat them in San Fran. Cardinals at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I got Green Bay as well. Bucks at Saints.
Bucks.
I got the Saints in that game, just being at home, and I'm pretty sure the following week they got the Broncos. So they're, I think they're going to be looking to fight hard because I think they know that game against the Broncos is going to be rough. Detroit at the Cowboys.
Detroit.
I got the Cowboys winning at home there. Following game, the last game of the week 6 is Falcons at Panthers.
Falcons.
I got the Falcons as well. Moving on to week 7. First game of the week I got here is Patriots at Jags.
Jags.
I have the Jags as well. Dolphins at Colts.
Dolphins.
I got the Colts at home. Like, I think I only have them win like 3 or 4 games this year, and I think this is one of them. I like you said earlier with the Colts, that stadium, I just don't think the Dolphins are going to be ready for that. Titans at the Bills.
Bills.
I got the Bills as well. Bengals at the Browns.
Bengals.
I got the Browns at home.
No, I think I took the Browns at home, and that's
okay.
Yeah,
that's who I got too. Here's a good one. You're really gonna like this one. Jets at Steelers.
Steelers.
I got the Jets winning there. I just feel like finally at that point in the season, Aaron Rodgers is going to be in this groove as long as he doesn't get hurt, and they're going to be really, really freaking good. Especially with that defense. Here's the game of the week in Sean Payton's eyes. Broncos at the Saints.
Broncos. Broncos are going to smash them. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Sean Payton's going to walk in there. He's going to make Dennis Allen look like his little boy.
Yeah.
So I got the Broncos too. Next game, Texans at Green Bay. That's a good game.
Green Bay.
I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. I got the Texans. I think the
We're starting to get into Green Bay winter. Green Bay is always a difficult place to play any time of year because of the fan base. True. You start throwing in the cold weather, then you start throwing in a team from the South, and then you start throwing in a team from a different conference that's unfamiliar with you and your stadium and your weather, and it's a second-year quarterback surrounded by a young team. I know Green Bay's young team too, but they're playing in their element. So Jordan Love's been playing quarterback in Green Bay for years now, maybe not as a starter, but he knows how to throw in the cold. I think Stroud might be in for a rude awakening, but really great young future of the league matchup in this game.
I got the Texans only for the simple fact, like whenever it's raining or it's really cold or it's snowing, what's the one thing teams love to do? They love to play defense and run the ball. Yeah. And the fact that the Texans signed Joe Mixon and, you got, what's his name? What's the Texans head coach's name? DeMeco Ryans. Being a defensive guy, I think they're going to be playing defense hard and they're going to run the ball hard with Joe Mixon in that game. So that's why I got the Texans. Raiders at the Rams.
Rams.
I got the Rams too. Here's the game you were talking about. You were right. Yeah, the Chiefs do play the 49ers. It's Kansas City at San Francisco.
Gosh, this is a tough one. I don't remember who I gave this one, but I think I gave San Fran this one.
I gave it to the Chiefs.
Because Chiefs on the road and San Fran with the hangover. Not the hangover,
Yeah.
the chip on their shoulder.
No, I get that. I don't know. I just feel like Kansas City, they're trying to three-peat this year. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to happen, but I got Kansas City taking that one. With the way I got the rest of my season set up, I just feel like Kansas City's going to take this one. Ravens at Bucks.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well. Chargers at Cardinals.
Chargers.
I got the Chargers as well. Detroit at Minnesota.
Detroit.
I got Minnesota in their stadium. Seattle at Falcons.
Falcons.
I had the Falcons as well. This one's easy, or it should be. I mean, I know you said this team, is not, they're good, but not great. Eagles at Giants.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles too. Last game of the week, Panthers at Commanders.
Commanders.
And I got the Commanders too. Oh, one more thing. The reason why I got the Chiefs, beating the 49ers is because I'm pretty sure Andy Reid is undefeated after the bye, and they're coming off their bye this week.
Oh, that's actually huge. I'll stick with 49ers, but yeah, that absolutely will make a huge difference in that game.
All right, moving on to week 8. First game, Colts at Texans.
Texans.
That's who I got too. Ravens at Browns.
Ravens. No, yeah.
I got them too.
I think I might have given the Browns a win against the Ravens at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I took the Browns at that one.
All right, I still got the Ravens. I think they're going to win that game. This one I don't know. I think we're probably going to disagree on, but it's the fact that these teams always split. I know the one team's not very good, but Jets at Patriots. I got the Patriots at home.
Yeah, I hear you on the split. They always play close, but I think this is the Jets' era of domination, similarly to the Patriots' domination over them. So I went with the Jets here. I think the Jets cleaned the Patriots this year in my book.
Okay. Chiefs at Raiders in Las Vegas.
Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders too. The Raiders always play the Chiefs hard. Like I think they beat them last year in Kansas City.
The Raiders always play the Chiefs to one possession, and it always feels like they steal one at home.
Yeah, I got you. And like I said, last year the Raiders beat them in Kansas City. I'm pretty sure. Next game on the docket, Green Bay at Jags.
Green Bay.
I got the Jags at home. Cardinals at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins as well. Tennessee at Detroit.
Detroit.
I got Detroit too. Buffalo at Seahawks.
Buffalo.
I got Buffalo too. Saints at Chargers.
Chargers.
I got the Chargers too. Panthers at Broncos.
Broncos.
I got the Broncos myself.
Probably
Eagles at Bengals. What's up?
That one will probably be the Broncos' most convincing win of the year. At home against the Panthers.
Yeah, I agree. And I went to both Panthers games whenever I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and the Broncos beat the crap out of them both times in Charlotte. Eagles at Bengals.
Bengals.
I have the Bengals too. Giants at Steelers.
Steelers.
I have the Steelers as well. Vikings at Rams.
Rams.
I have the Rams too. Falcons at Bucks.
Falcons.
I have the Bucks winning at home. Bears at Commanders.
Commanders.
I got the Bears taking that one. And last game of the week, Cowboys at San Fran.
San Fran.
I got San Fran as well. Moving on to week 9. Texans at Jets.
I think I gave one of the Texans a loss here. That's a tough road game. New York in the winter. Same gig as them going that last game they were playing. I was just talking about CJ Stroud going up to Green Bay. Same thing. It's not quite as intense, but New York at that time of year is not comfortable. And if there's any sort of weather, I think Stroud will struggle. So I think I gave that to the Jets.
Well, just like I gave Stroud and them the win in Green Bay, and like I said with the defense, the run game, I'm going to take the Jets here against the Texans. I just think Aaron Rodgers and that run game, like the Jets, I think have a better defense. I think they have a better run game. So yeah, they're going to win at home here. New England at Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I got Tennessee as well. Miami at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I got Buffalo as well. This one should be easy. Raiders at Bengals.
Bengals.
That's who I have too. This one hurts to say, but Broncos at Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well.
Hey,
Chargers.
Real quick. Broncos country, look at me. If you think we're beating the Ravens in Baltimore, you are kidding yourself. Wake up. We have a rookie quarterback. Sorry, carry on. I'm optimistic about the season too, but you got to be crazy.
I understand. I'm not arguing against you. I'm just saying.
I haven't even heard people saying that. I just wanted to make sure if anyone was thinking to disagree with us that they were wrong objectively.
Okay. Chargers at Browns.
Chargers.
Colts at Vikings.
Vikings.
I got the Colts there. Jags at the Eagles. Doug Peterson going up against his former team.
I think the Jags absolutely can win this, but I think I gave this one to the Eagles.
I did too. I feel you on that. Buccaneers going to Kansas City.
KC for sure.
Yeah, I got KC winning that too. This is a big upset. This is going to be my upset of this week. Washington at Giants. I got the Giants at home.
I think I also have the Giants beating Washington at home.
Okay. Dallas at the Falcons.
Falcons.
I got the Falcons as well. Saints at Carolina.
Carolina.
I got the Saints. It's gonna be a good game, but I got the Saints.
Close.
Bears
at good.
Say what?
Close. I don't know about good.
I mean, it's gonna be so bad. It should be good.
Yeah, it might be like 7-10. I don't know if that's a good.
It could be like, Bears at Cardinals.
Bears.
I took the Cardinals because I did give them a few wins this year, and like I said, I think they're gonna fight hard for Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
Rams at Seahawks.
I think I gave that one to Seahawks.
Same here. And the last game of the week, Lions at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I got the Detroit Lions. All right, moving on to week 10, I believe it is. First game of the week, Bengals at Ravens.
Ravens.
I have the Ravens winning that too. Second game of the week, Broncos at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs as well. Bills at the Colts.
Bills.
I have the Bills as well. Titans at Chargers.
Chargers.
I have the Chargers as well. New England at the Bears.
Bears.
I have the Bears too. Steelers at Commanders.
Steelers.
I have the Steelers too. Minnesota at the Jags.
Jags.
I have the Jags as well. Jets at the Cardinals.
Jets.
I got the Cardinals winning that. Like I said, I ain't got them winning very many games, but I believe they'll win that one. Detroit at the Texans.
Texans.
All right, I got Detroit in that game. Dolphins at the Rams.
Dolphins.
I have the Dolphins as well. Giants at oh crap, I can't tell who that is. Oh, I don't know who that is. I can't see it.
Producer.
It's an NFC team. Yeah, it blacked out. I don't know why. That's weird. But let's move on. The Falcons at the Saints.
Falcons at the Saints. Falcons.
I got the Saints winning the home game. 49ers at Bucks.
Niners.
I got the Niners as well. And Eagles at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys as well. Moving on to week 11. Raiders at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I have the Dolphins as well. Ravens at the Steelers.
Ravens.
That's who I have as well. Oh.
At this, I think I have Ravens Steelers splitting. So if it's in Pittsburgh, I have the Steelers winning.
Okay. Well, I got the Ravens in that. I just think they're going to be a really hard team for the Steelers to beat this year. Next game, Bengals at Chargers.
Chargers.
I have the Bengals winning that one. Next game, Kansas City at Buffalo.
At Buffalo. I think
Yeah.
I might have given that to KC.
Week 10, Commanders versus Giants. I think I got the Commanders in that one.
I think I took the Giants at home.
Yeah, I took the Commanders.
Graham.
Thank you, Graham. You said you got the Bills against KC?
Yeah, I think I might have. No. I gave KC that one because I just think KC owns Buffalo.
I agree. Next game, Colts at Jets.
Jets.
I have the Jets as well. Vikings at Titans.
Titans.
I got the Vikings winning that one. Browns at Saints.
Saints.
Have the Saints as well. Rams at Patriots.
I might have given this one to the Patriots. Late season in Foxborough against a sunny weather team. Yeah, I think I gave this one to the Patriots.
I mean, that makes sense, but I had the Rams here. The way I had, like I said,
they're objectively a better team, but Patriots got to win a few, and that might be a good one for them to take advantage of.
True. Jags at Detroit.
Detroit.
I got Detroit too. Falcons at Broncos.
I think I had us win this one at home.
I got us winning it at home for sure. Like I like the Falcons. I think they're going to be a good team, but I don't. Even though we have a rookie quarterback, I just don't trust the Falcons' defense.
I think the Broncos' home advantage is going to be a lot more noticeable this year than it's been the last 5.
Yeah, because I think fans there's going to be a lot of people in the stands because they have a reason to be optimistic this year too.
I agree, and I also think the Broncos are starting to enter competitive territory where we're going to start hovering around 500 as opposed to hovering around 4 to 5 wins. And when that's the case, generally you have a noticeably better, like 2 or 3 wins at least more at home than you have losses. So
true. Yep. Texans at Cowboys.
Texans, Battle of Texas down there. That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game. I got the Cowboys squeezing that one out at home. Commanders at Eagles.
Eagles.
I have the Eagles as well. Green Bay at Chicago.
Green Bay.
I have Green Bay as well. Last game of the week, Seahawks at 49ers.
49ers.
I have them too. Moving on to week 12. Steelers at Browns.
Steelers.
I think so too. I think the Steelers sneak away with one here. Titans at Texans.
Texans.
I got the Texans too. Patriots at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah, I agree. Broncos at Raiders.
At Raiders, I'm going to take the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders too there. Ravens at Chargers.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well. Detroit at Indianapolis.
Detroit.
Yep. Kansas City at Carolina.
KC.
I got KC as well. Vikings at Bears.
Bears.
I have the Bears as well. Bucks at Giants. I know that's a hard one. But...
I might have given that one to the Giants at home.
Okay. I gave it to the Bucks. I know, like you said, warm weather team going to cold weather, but I just think with the overall better roster, it's just going to work that way.
I agree. It's very possible.
Cowboys at Commanders.
I think I have Cowboys and Commanders splitting.
Okay. So you got the Commanders here, I'm assuming?
Yes, at home, yeah.
I got the Cowboys. Cardinals at Seattle.
I think I have the Cardinals taking this one.
Okay.
I think Seattle's going to be kind of done at this point. I feel like they're going to have given up a little bit on the season, and the Cardinals, I think, are just going to be playing to play, for their coach.
I can see that, but I'm pretty sure I got those teams split, and I got the Seahawks winning at least this one at home. San Fran at Green Bay.
At Green Bay?
Yeah.
This might be one of the 3 losses I gave San Fran.
Okay. I got San Fran in this game. I think they're going to go up and beat the Packers. Granted, with Aaron Rodgers, they always had trouble beating the 49ers, and even with Jordan Love, I think that trend's going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles at Rams.
Eagles.
I have the Rams taking this one. I just feel like Nick Sirianni is going to get outcoached by Sean McVay. Moving on to week 13. Raiders at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs as well. This is I don't know if we're going to agree on this one, but Colts at Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah, this is one of the wins I think I gave the Patriots this year. Steelers at Bengals.
Bengals.
I have the Bengals as well. Texans at Jags.
Texans.
I have the Texans as well. This game, I'm pretty much going off last year on what this team did to the other one, but Browns at Broncos. I got the Broncos here.
I think I did the same. I got the Broncos.
Okay. Dolphins at Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I have Green Bay as well. Chargers at Falcons.
Falcons.
Same. I got the Falcons. Seahawks at Jets.
Jets.
I have the Jets as well. Titans at Commanders.
Commanders.
I have the Commanders as well. Now, this one I think we're going to differ. And the reason why I'm giving this team the win in this week is because they lost the previous week. Eagles at Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay. San Fran at Buffalo.
San Fran.
All right, I got him too. Christian McCaffrey in defense. I think they're going to play defense and run the ball with McCaffrey a lot that game.
That's got to be a prime time game. There's no way, right?
I
You
would
know,
believe it is. It's
that's
either I want to say it's a Sunday night game.
it's gonna be cold as hell, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I'm never going to bet against McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's good.
Next game, Bears at Detroit.
Detroit,
I have Detroit as well. Giants at Cowboys.
Cowboys,
I got the Cowboys too. Cardinals at Vikings.
Cardinals,
I have the Cardinals as well. Rams at Saints.
Saints,
I got the Saints as well. And then last game of the week, Bucks versus the Panthers.
Bucks,
I got the Bucks as well. Moving on to week 14. Jags at Titans.
Titans,
I got the Jags winning that one. Because I don't think the Titans are going to be very good this year, honestly. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with that. I just think the Jags are a gettable team at home for them.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans pull this one out, honestly. Browns at Steelers.
Steelers,
I have the Steelers as well. Jets at Dolphins.
Dolphins,
I have the Jets winning this one. It's gonna be December, so it's not gonna be as hot. So I think the Jets can win this one, even if it's in Miami. Chargers at Chiefs.
Chiefs,
Yep. I have the Chiefs as well. Raiders at Bucks.
Bucks,
I have the Bucks too. Bills at Los Angeles. Rams.
Bills,
I have the Bills too. Bengals at Cowboys.
Bengals,
I have the Bengals too. They're going to be fighting hard for the AFC, especially if Joe Burrow is healthy. So, Green Bay at Detroit.
Detroit,
I have Detroit as well. Falcons at Vikings.
Falcons,
I have the Falcons too. Saints at Giants.
Ooh. I think I gave that to the Giants.
Okay. I took the Saints in this one. I just overall better team. I trust them more. You know, I think Dayball is on his way out, honestly.
That's another one where it's like the Giants can't lose them all this year, and that's a gettable team at home.
True, it is. Like I said earlier, if the Giants win, would I be surprised? No. So,
yeah.
Panthers at Eagles.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well. Seahawks at Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I got the Cardinals as well. Last game of the week, Bears at 49ers.
Niners.
I have the Niners too. Moving on to week 15, we got the Dolphins at the Texans. That's a good game, but
Texans at home,
yeah,
maybe?
Yeah, Texans at home. That's who I'm taking as well.
Yeah.
Bengals at Titans.
Bengals.
I have the Bengals too. This one's going to be a good game, I think, in your opinion. Jets at Jags.
Yeah, that'll be a good one, especially with I think the Jets are a better team, but given the home field for the Jags, that should balance it out for sure. I think I like the Jets in this one, but totally could go either way.
Okay, I got the Jags in this one. They're going to be. I'm not saying the Jets ain't, but I think the Jags are really going to be fighting for the AFC South this year. So, Kansas City at the Browns.
Kansas City.
I have Kansas City winning that too. Colts at Broncos.
Broncos.
I have the Broncos winning that as well. This one should be. I mean, I would think it's easy, but Ravens at Giants.
Ravens.
That's who I got too. Ravens. Bucks at Chargers.
Chargers.
I have the Chargers too. New England at Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I have New England winning this one because I've had the Cardinals already win 2 games back to back, so I think they fall to the Patriots. I think this is a gettable game for the Patriots.
Absolutely.
Bills at Detroit.
Detroit. That should be a fantastic game, though.
It should. It could possibly be a Sunday night game too. I'm not sure, but I got the Bills in that one. I think they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot too.
Yeah.
This one, I think I know who you're going to take, but since you said they're not like they're an okay team, but not great. Steelers at Eagles. I got the Steelers.
Steelers.
Okay. Falcons at Raiders.
Falcons.
I have the Falcons as well. Rams at 49ers.
49ers.
I have the 49ers as well. Commanders at Saints.
Saints.
I have the Commanders winning this one. Cowboys at Panthers.
Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys too. Packers at Seahawks.
Packers.
I have the Packers as well. Last game of the week, Bears at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I gave it to Minnesota as well. Moving on to week 16, first game of the week, Browns at Bengals.
Bengals.
I have the Bengals too. Texans at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I have the
Hell
Chiefs
of a game.
as well.
That might be a hell of a game, though.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, DeMeco Ryan. I hope the Chiefs lose that one. Honestly, I hope DeMeco Ryan runs the ball and just plays the crap out of defense. But we shall see. Steelers at Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens too. Titans at Colts.
Colts.
I have the Colts too. Patriots at Bills.
Bills.
I have the Bills too. This is where I think the Broncos finally fall. Broncos versus Chargers.
This one's in LA, so I'm giving this one to Broncos.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I think they're going to split this year with the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. I got the Broncos winning at home against the Chargers, and they lose in Los Angeles.
I got it just flip-flopped.
Okay. Jags at Raiders.
Raiders.
I got the Raiders as well. Rams at Jets.
Jets.
I have the Jets as well. 49ers at Miami.
49ers.
I have the 49ers as well. Next game, Lions at the Bears.
Lions.
I got the Bears when I have them split, and I just think the Bears are going to be really good on offense this year. Giants at Falcons.
Falcons.
I have them too. Eagles at Commanders.
Commanders.
I have the Eagles winning that one.
I think I have them splitting home and home.
I think I have them flipped. I think I got the Commanders win against Eagles away and vice versa. Cardinals at Panthers.
Panthers.
I got the Cardinals winning that one. Vikings at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks too. Bucks at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys too. Last game of this week, Saints at Packers.
Packers.
I have the Packers too. Moving on to week 17, Chiefs at the Steelers.
Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs as well. This is going to be a good game, honestly, in my opinion. But I think we might differ on this. Ravens at Texans.
I want to give it to the Texans, but I think I might have given it to the Ravens. I'll go with the Texans at home.
Okay. Okay. Well, we kind of agree on that because I got the Texans taking that.
And honestly, I think the Texans might be playing for a little more in Week 17
Yeah.
than the Ravens are.
I believe the same thing. Broncos at Bengals.
Bengals.
I have the Bengals winning that too. Chargers at New England.
New England? No, Chargers, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's who I got too is the Chargers. Titans at Jags.
Jags.
I have the Jags as well. Jets at Bills.
Bills.
I have the Bills too. Dolphins at Browns.
Dolphins.
I have the Browns winning that one at home because I think they're going to be fighting for every win this year, considering the fact that their division is going to be a gauntlet.
It's also going to be cold in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, you're right. So I'm giving that one to the Browns. Colts at Giants.
Giants.
Yep, I gave it to the Giants as well. Raiders at Saints.
Saints?
Derek Carr facing his former team.
Saints.
You got the Saints. I got the Raiders. Seahawks at Bears.
Bears.
I got the Bears as well. Cardinals at the Rams.
Rams.
I have the Ram. Wait, do I? Yeah, I have the Rams as well. Falcons at Commanders.
Falcons.
I got the Commanders winning at home here. I had to give them at least a few wins this year. Packers at Vikings.
Packers.
I gave it to the Packers as well. Panthers at Bucks.
Bucks.
I got the Bucks as well. Cowboys at Eagles.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles too. And last game of this week, Detroit going to San Francisco.
Niners.
I got the Niners as well. Last week, week 18, first game on the list, Chargers at Raiders.
Raiders.
I got the Raiders too. Chiefs at Broncos.
Broncos.
I got the Broncos too. I think the Chiefs are probably going to have their seed spot locked up to where they can't move, and they're probably going to be resting starters. So, and it's in Denver, so I'm giving it to the Broncos.
Yeah, in Denver with their team, the way they're building with Bo Nix and everybody, like if Bo Nix isn't playing week 1, he sure as hell is playing week 18, you know?
Oh, I agree.
So I don't think the Chiefs have anything to play for this week. And yeah, there's no reason the Broncos don't win this game at home.
Yep, I agree. Texans at Titans.
Texans.
I got the Titans winning this one. I just feel like the Texans are going to have their spot, same as the Chiefs. They're going to have it locked up and probably be resting starters. And I think the Titans just take it just to get a moral victory at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Jags at Colts, kind of the same thing. I got the Colts winning here.
Colts.
Okay. Bengals at Steelers.
Steelers.
I got the Bengals winning that one. Closing out the season with a victory. Browns at Ravens.
Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well. Bills at Patriots.
Bills.
I got the Bills too. This one I think we are going to disagree on because I think this team's going to be fighting for a wild card spot. Not saying that the other team won't be, but I think the Dolphins at Jets. I think the Dolphins win this in New York because they're definitely going to be fighting hard. Not saying the Jets won't, but
Dolphins.
Okay. Seahawks at Los Angeles Rams.
Rams.
I got the Rams myself. 49ers at Cardinals.
Niners.
Got the Niners too. Bears at Packers.
Packers.
I got the Packers too. Commanders at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys as well. Saints at Bucks.
Bucks.
I have the Bucks as well. Vikings at Detroit.
Detroit.
I got Detroit as well. Panthers at Falcons.
Falcons.
I have them too. And the last game of the season, Giants at Eagles.
Gross game. Eagles.
I got the Eagles too. So we went through all of the we went through every single week, picked every single team. I got the records of all the teams here, and I also have which teams made the playoffs and what seeds they are. Do you have the records in front of you?
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
All right.
Do you wanna just you go ahead and do a full division at a time, and then I'll do my full division of whichever one you pick.
Okay. I'll just go in order from what I got on my screen here. The first division up there is the AFC North. I got the Bengals finishing 14-3, the Ravens 13-4, the Steelers 7-10, and the Browns 7-10.
Mike Tomlin's streak. No.
I just have a feeling it's going to end this year.
The thing is, what's funny about Mike Tomlin's streak, and when I do this, is I never intentionally give it to him. It just always happens to work out.
How'd your record prediction show out for that?
I have the Bengals winning the division at 13-5, with the Ravens right behind them at 12-5. Steelers in third at 9-8, and the Browns with a mere 5-13.
Ooh, dang, man. You really gave it to the Browns this year. Holy crap.
I am not a fan of Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson is the most
I'm not either.
I think he's the most overpaid player in the entire league.
He is, but I just feel like with the way the Browns handled last season with the carousel of quarterbacks, they still had a winning record, and I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with Deshaun Watson playing, they're going to be worse. Those other quarterbacks were better than him. I think he took 2 years off of the league, and you can't do that at this level.
Yeah, that is true. You said what, 5 and what?
13, 5 and 13.
Okay, so I only gave him 2 more wins than what you did.
5-12, my bad. I count wins and then I add the losses mentally, so the win is always correct. So that was 18 games, but it's 5-12. So
okay. Next division we'll do the AFC East. I got the Bills finishing 12-5, the Dolphins 9-8, the Jets 9-8, the Patriots 3-14.
I have wow, it's kind of funny. I have the Bills finishing third at 10-7.
Ooh.
With the Dolphins winning the division at 12-5, and the Jets getting a wild card spot also at 12-5, with the Patriots at 2-15.
All right, well, the Patriots only got 1 more win on my list. Holy crap! But yeah, that's good. I mean, not saying that you're wrong, but I really do like that. That's a good take. AFC South. I got the Texans finishing 11-6, the Jags finishing 9-8, Colts 6-11, Titans 3-14.
Wow, no love for the Titans. I think the AFC is a lot closer. Like, you have your top teams, and then I think everyone else is just kind of a jumbled mess. There's not too many garbage teams. I think the true garbage team of the league is the Patriots. Everyone else, I think, is like at least a 5-6 win team, pretty much. So for me, I have the Texans winning that division at 12-5. The Jags going 8-9, so close to you. Colts 6-11, and Titans 6-11.
Okay, so we had the Colts at the same spot, and just the
our
Titans.
Texans and Jags were only a game apart as well.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Like I said, anything's possible in the NFL, man. Like you know, we might not be far off from each other. And the last division in the AFC, of course, our division, AFC West. I got the Chiefs going 13-4, the Broncos 10-7, the Chargers 9-8, and the Raiders 7-10.
I have the Chiefs winning 14-13. I have the Chargers 12-5. I have the Broncos 10-7, and I have the Raiders 8-9.
Okay. So we're a little off on that. I mean, on some,
Broncos,
we were off on one game. Huh?
Broncos, we were spot on. 10-7. Let's go.
Yeah. I feel like Bo Nix and Sean Payton together were 2 more wins than last year, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Now moving over to the NFC. I'm going to start with the NFC West.
Want to talk about AFC playoff real quick?
Oh yeah, we can. I want to get your take on this first. What's your seeds? Like, what teams you have at what seed?
I've got the Chiefs at 1, the Bengals at 2, the Texans at 3, the Dolphins at 4. My wild card teams are the Ravens, Chargers, and the Jets.
Okay.
There are lots of 12-5 teams for me in the AFC. I think all of my wild card teams are 12-5, and the Texans are also 12-5 as a winner. I just got lots of 12-5 in the AFC. So, but yeah.
No, I got you, man. It's understandable. AFC is freaking stacked. On my side, I got the Bengals with the 1 seed. I got the winning their division, the Chiefs winning the division with the 2nd seed, the Bills winning their division with the 3rd seed, and the Texans winning their division with the 4th seed. After that, I got the Ravens with the 5 seed, and a lot of people are probably going to be excited to hear this. Some people are probably going to be like, "You're retarded." I got the Broncos finishing at the 6th seed with the 10-7 record, with the way I had the schedule play out this year, and then the 7th seed is going to be the Miami Dolphins.
That's so crazy that we had the Broncos at the same record, but you have them as the 2nd wild card team, and I have them missing the playoffs by like 2 games.
That's the fun thing, man, because it's like the Broncos have to win their games, yeah, but other teams have to lose and other teams have to win for the Broncos to get in. I just feel like some of these teams are going to take a step back this year, and some are going to, be worse than what we thought they're going to be.
The Broncos,
that's how I got my AFC.
The Broncos are the only double-digit win, 10-plus win team that I don't have in the playoffs because everyone else is at least 12-5.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a crazy season. We'll just see how it goes.
There's no way there's that many teams going 12-5, but I think as far as like how it shakes out, I think we're pretty dang close with our teams that we have in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, I say we do. I think about at least over half of them that me and you picked are in the playoffs on the AFC side. Now moving over to the NFC. I'm doing this in the order I have it on my screen. So we're going to start with the NFC West. I got the San Francisco 49ers going 14-3, the Rams 9-8, the Seahawks 6-11, and the Cardinals 6-11.
Wow, we're outside of the Niners. We're way off. I have the 49ers at 13-4, so close. But then I have the Rams at 5-12, the Seahawks at 6-11, and the Cardinals at 4-13.
Oh wow, yeah, we're definitely way off on that one. But that's the beauty of the NFL and doing these picks, man, because every game, it just depends on what games are played and how they're played. Moving on to the NFC North. This one's going to be good. I think you're going to like this. I got the Lions finishing 12-5. I got the Packers finishing 12-5. The Bears finishing 8-9, and the Vikings 6-13.
We are extremely close. I think all of our teams are within a game apart. I have the Lions winning it at 13-4.
Okay.
I have the Packers at 12-5. I have the Bears at 8-9.
We have that together.
And I have the Vikings at 5-12.
Yep, the Lions and the Vikings, we each had a game off. But the other two we had spot on together.
That's going to be a really fun division to watch this year.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait to watch it, especially the Packers. That's the one team I'm especially excited to see this year. Moving on to the NFC East. Um, I got the Eagles finishing 11-5 or 11-6. I'm sorry. The Cowboys 11-6. The Commanders 6-11, and the Giants 2-15.
I have the Eagles winning that one 13-4, with the Cowboys at 9-8, the Commanders at 5-12, and the Giants at 4-13.
Okay, so we both have the Eagles winning the division, but we're off on the record slightly. So that's a good one.
I
And then
do
the
have.
last division.
I assume with the you have the Cowboys at 12 wins. You have them as a wild card, right?
No, 11 wins. The Eagles and Cowboys are both at 11 wins.
Oh, do you have the so then you'd have the Cowboys in a wild. I have the Cowboys in a wild card as well, just with less wins. So
Okay. Well, we'll get to that here in a second. And the last division, the NFC South. I got the Falcons winning this division. 11-6 for the Falcons, 8-9 for the Bucks, 7-10 for the Saints, and 1-16 for the Panthers.
that is a brutal year for the Panthers. I really wanted to do them dirty like that, but it happens so rarely. I had to rationalize, so I had to pick a couple games for them. But I have the Falcons winning at 11-6 as well.
Okay.
And then I have the Bucks at 6-11, the Saints at 5-12, and the Panthers at 3-14.
Okay, so we got both had the Falcons winning the division with the same record, but we were off on all the other teams. So, I mean, that's not too bad. But I don't think the Panthers are going to be any better this year at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
So, with that said, moving on to the NFC playoff picture. Of course, I got the Niners at the 1 seed at 14-3, winning their division. The Lions winning their division, with the 2nd seed. The Eagles winning their division at the 3rd seed, and the Falcons winning their division at the 4th seed. My wild card teams are the 5th seed, the Packers, the 6th seed, the Cowboys, and the 7th seed, the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, we are only one team off on our playoff picture, and just that last team in. So I have the Niners winning the NFC with a 13-4 record, and then the Eagles getting the 2nd seed. Technically, the Eagles and the Lions are both 13-4, but I feel like tiebreaker wise, the Eagles play in an easier division. So the tiebreaker would go to divisional wins. Therefore, the Eagles probably take the 2nd seed over the Lions if they had the same record. So I have the Eagles at 2, Lions at 3, both at 13-4, as well as the 49ers. And then the Falcons are 11-6 at the 4 seed as the division winner. And then my wild cards are the Packers at the first wild card at 12-5.
Okay.
The Cowboys at 9-8. And the third one for me at 8-9, the Bears.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad. That would be wild. The Bears made the playoffs this year, man. Seriously, because that would probably save Matt Eberflus's job.
But
if he makes the playoffs.
But how do you? That's one thing that drives me crazy when you get a team. It always happens in these garbage NFC leagues, like divisions, right? There's always that weird team that like makes it into the playoffs, like the Bucks. In Tom's last year, made it in with an 8-9 record because they won their division. Like ridiculous. Like just because you made it to the playoffs doesn't mean your season was a success. Like you lost more games than you won. How can you justify that as a successful season? But again,
you only got in. Somebody from that division had to make it in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I was looking at this NFC thing and what I wanted to bring up real quick, and what I was saying briefly about the AFC being a lot closer. Like the NFC, I think their top teams are just wicked good.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there is a ton of really bad teams. I don't think there's a lot of average teams in the NFC. I mean, I got luck. The fact that I was looking through after the Bears at 8-9, The next best record is the Seahawks and Bucks at 6-11 for me. And that's just my view of the NFC. Like, you've got some really good teams, a couple average teams, and the rest of that division or that conference is just garbage this year.
Well, I can go through real quick and I can give all the seedings to all the teams I had in each division. Of course, I had the Bengals at 1, the Chiefs at 2. Let's see. The Bills at 3, Texans at 4. Let's see. Ravens at 5, of course. Broncos at 6. And then you had the Dolphins at 7. The Jets at 8. The Jags at 9. Let's see. 10. Where's 10? Chargers at 10. Raiders at 11. Steelers at 12. Browns at 13. Colts at 14. Titans at 15. And then the last one in the AFC was the Patriots at 16.
So the fact that you have the Chargers at 10, and I bet you the Chargers could beat probably 80% of the NFC, is crazy.
Stacked AFC. Yeah, that's probably true. It's just with the way the division, I think it's going to take a year or two for Harbaugh and them to really get going in Los Angeles. So that's why I got them at 9-8. And plus they don't have any weapons. I mean, you got, who is it, Palmer and that Johnson kid, which haven't really proved that they're the guys. You know they're probably going to be a run first team, and their best running backs, Gus Edwards, a guy that was had a season-ending injury like a year or two ago, and I don't trust the Chargers to win more than 9 games this year, even with Harbaugh.
That's fair, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we have a talented team like the Chargers over here that's going 9-8, and I feel like my 9-8 teams in the around 500 teams I have in the NFC are the Cowboys and the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
And those teams don't even hold a candle in my eye to the Chargers. And those are the 500 teams, and that's just the nature of playing in the NFC versus the AFC. You just need so much more in the AFC with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, and now you've got Justin Herbert. You got all of these high power quarterbacks and names in the AFC, and it just creates a struggle for power.
Well, you know who the 10th seed is? I have as a 10th seed in the NFC.
Who?
The New Orleans Saints at 7-10.
I mean, how many times if the Chargers played the Saints on neutral ground, how many times the Chargers winning that? 8, 7?
I'm trying to think. Are we talking about their teams this year, right? Or just in general?
I'm talking the Chargers coming into this year versus the Saints coming into this year. If they just played 10 times on neutral ground, how many times do you think the Chargers win?
Well, I'd say probably half. Like I said, I think it's going to be a slow process this year for the Chargers, though. I really do. I don't think they're going to come out of the gate and just be firing on all cylinders. I think it's going to take a year or two for Harbaugh to build this team correct.
I agree, but if you're looking at the quarterback and coaching in both situations, the two cornerstones of your franchise, both teams need a lot of work. Would you rather have Derek Carr and the new guy they got over there, or would you rather have Harbaugh and Justin Herbert? It's just
I'd rather have Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. Yeah, I'm not denying that.
You've got two middling teams that are in the same place right now with very different trajectories. It's cool.
Well, like I said, I got the Broncos at the 6th seed in the AFC, right?
Yeah.
And I got the Cowboys are the 6th seed in the NFC. And honestly, I think that's fair because
I agree. That's pretty close.
Every single time we play the Cowboys, we destroy them.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys have a better record in my prediction. They're 11-6. The Broncos are 10-7. They both make the playoffs, but I'm sorry, but to me personally, the Broncos should have a better record and be a higher seed because even though the Cowboys are they have a better roster, or they've had a better roster over the last couple of years. Every single time we play them, the last time we played them was in Dallas, and we destroyed them. It was 30-16.
Yeah, and it goes back to what you're saying. It's they have a better record, But look at the division they play in. They play 6 games. They play 4 games a year, 2 against the Commanders, 2 against the Giants. The Broncos don't really get that level of,
True.
ease. Those are a couple, that's a 1 or 2 extra wins. I mean, they're not playing Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert every year,
No, yeah, I get, and the fact that, the worst team in our division, the Raiders, we haven't beaten in what, 4 years, 5 years?
5, 6 years, 5 years.
Yeah, and we beat the Chiefs last year, the best team that's honestly probably in the NFL with the best quarterback in the NFL. We beat them last year. We beat the Chargers at least once every year. It just, I mean, I agree with you. It's crazy, but even if you look at like the 2-1 seeds in the both conferences, you got the Bengals, who have made a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow, and a crappy offensive line versus, and they have Zach Taylor, a guy I think that's off the McVay tree, versus Kyle Shanahan, whose dad pretty much invented the West Coast offense, has a 10-time better roster. But if you had to choose right now, who would you take, Brock Purdy or, Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Exactly. And it's both the teams are good in their own right, but it's who had the Bengals, honestly, I think are better because they have to go through the gauntlet of the AFC.
Yeah.
If they finish one in the AFC, they're going through the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Steelers.
And not even just the gauntlet of the AFC. If you're talking about the Bengals specifically, they got to go through their own damn division every year. I mean, the Ravens, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, you're talking about the Browns defense. Those are physical games that tear down your players. I mean, there's always injuries from those games on both sides. And then, like you said, to still come out on top, it's a lot harder to come out on top of the AFC. Yep. There's so much stiffer competition from top to bottom that you see those teams come out and you're like, man, they really went through it.
And that's the thing, over the last couple of years, you could say, yeah, well, the 49ers, you could say, yeah, the Rams maybe being that team, but I wouldn't put the Rams up there with the Ravens or the Seahawks or the Cardinals. And I wouldn't put the Seahawks or Cardinals in the same league as, say the Browns or the Steelers.
Agreed.
But, it's just wild how it turns out, man. And I really enjoy doing these predictions. Like I said, it's just the way I think our schedules kind of, were similar a lot of ways. I think they were more similar than they were different. And like you said, in the NFC, we only have one team difference. You got the Bears making it, I got the Rams making it. All the other teams are the same.
And neither of those teams are winning the Super Bowl. So whatever,
No. I mean, it had to be like a fluke of luck for them to make the Super Bowl and win it, either one of those two. And then the AFC, I think we had half the teams as the same.
It was closer than that. It might have been 5 out because I have Chiefs, Bengals, Texans, Dolphins, Ravens, Chargers, Jets.
So we both got the Bengals, we both got the Chiefs, we both got the Bills, we both got the Ravens, and we both got the Texans, right?
I do not have the Bills in the playoffs.
Okay, so Chiefs, Bengals, Texans, and Ravens.
Yep.
So yeah, we got over half. We got 4 of the same teams, and then 3 ones that we got split differently. You ain't got the Bills, the Broncos, or the Dolphins in there like I do.
I have the Dolphins in there, so we're only 2 off.
Okay, so you ain't got the Broncos or Bills. Who's the other 2 teams you got?
Chargers, Jets.
Okay, yeah, so that's where we differ on that.
So 3 out of 14 teams across the entire league we disagreed on making the playoffs, and they were all wild cards.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, like you said, the Broncos we had with the same record. It was just the way we constructed our predictions throughout the year is what gave the Broncos, for me, into the playoffs, and for you, them to miss it this year with the same record.
Well, and that's what's tricky about when you're a team that floats around the 10 to 12 win mark is you kind of just got to win your games and hope for the best. Unless you're going to win 13 to 15 games a year, you're not guaranteed to get in, because even if you have 11 wins, there might be 4 teams in front of you with 12.
Yep.
So it's but also at the same time, you've got teams the next year that make it in at 8 and 9.
Yeah, just like you said with the Bucks, like they made it in with an 8-9 record only because someone had to win that division.
Yep.
Like anything, like you can win. Like, of course, when having an 8-9 record and making the playoffs is gonna be a lot more easy in the NFC than it would be the AFC.
Exactly.
Like, but if like the teams in the AFC that get like 11 wins, 10 wins, or 13 wins, in the NFC side, if they got those. A lot of teams, like there'd be a lot of good teams or a lot of, not great teams, but, average above, just slightly above average teams making the playoffs in the NFC. If they were hitting that 10, 11, 12 mark win, mark.
I have the Eagles at 13-4, and every year I do predictions. The Eagles get crazy amounts of wins, and then when it comes time for playoffs, I don't believe in them because I just don't think they're as good of a team as their record says every year. Every year they have a cakewalk of a schedule, and they blow out those teams, and everyone's like, "Oh man, the Eagles are amazing," and then they get clapped by one of the real NFC superpowers.
Yep.
But then
And
I really
not
feel
many of them.
like, and then you look at, and then you take a team like the Bengals. I bet you if you put a team like the Bengals, just switched the Bengals and the Eagles in their divisions, AFC, NFC, like the Bengals would be a 15-win team every year, and the Eagles would hover at probably 10 wins.
Yeah, I could see that. And that's the thing too. It's like it seems like the AFC teams, man, they have better GMs, they have better coaches, they're better at drafting, they're better at finding talent. The NFC teams, like you could probably almost list on one hand all the young talented quarterbacks in the NFC. Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts. I'm pretty sure that's it. Like we don't know what the rest of them could be.
Exactly. Well, and another thing too is it's just like when you have such a power imbalance, like it causes like there's so many teams in the NFC that I look at and I'm like, what are you guys even doing? Like the Saints, like what are you doing? Are you rebuilding? You need to rebuild. You should have been rebuilding for 5 years now, but like what are you doing? There are so many teams that just like are floating in the 5 to 6 win territory in the NFC, and it's like, when are you going to be relevant?
And well, I agree because it's like you see what the AFC side's doing. Whenever they get to a point, they're like, okay, we're not going anywhere. We need to just tear it down and finally just strip it down and rebuild. And that's what they do. They go out, they strip the whole thing down. They fire the coaches. They bring in a new guy. They rebuild the roster, and now that's why you got all these powerhouses in the AFC.
The Bills did it. The Bengals did it.
The Chiefs,
the Chiefs obviously did it with, and then who else was a good? The Dolphins did it. Like there's so many teams that are just these terrible. The Texans. Terrible for Ravens, 2 years.
You throw them in there too.
Yeah, they're like, okay, that's it. We're done with these big guys. Send them all packing to go get contracts. We're gonna rebuild, and then now here we are 5 years later, and they're running the league.
Exactly, and that's my thing. Like I think the Saints should have stripped it down and rebuild after Sean Payton left. The second he was like, I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm gonna go work at Fox or wherever the heck I'm going. They should have just completely stripped it down and rebuilt.
Yeah, because
instead they're like, no, we're going to try to stay competitive with Dennis Allen, and
they tried to continue a culture that was run by a guy no longer working in the league. It's like that's the thing when you have a big coach like that retires, or you lose a franchise quarterback or something like that, like. It's just the core of your team's identity has changed. So if you're going to make wholesale change, that's when you do it.
Yep. And like, I don't know why, but these NFC teams, they're not learning that aspect. They got to learn like, hey, we're still hovering around the same mark. We keep making the same mistakes every year. We just need to strip it down and rebuild. Like, I mean, a team like the 49ers, like you could be like, okay, maybe they shouldn't strip it down because they're in the playoffs every year. They're in the NFC Championship game, maybe the Super Bowl. But even like the Eagles, man, like, yeah, they got their young guy, but it's like, you just lost your Hall of Fame center. If this year the Eagles, honestly, in my opinion, if they don't make the freaking Super Bowl and win it, I think they should strip it down. They should rip
They
it down and rebuild it. Get rid of Nick Sirianni. Go out and get yourself a new coach that'll come in and he'll work well with Jalen Hurts because you know he ain't going to go anywhere. He's still young. And then rebuild the roster.
And honestly, if you're not sold on Jalen Hurts, you can get rid of Jalen Hurts. If you're getting rid of the head coach and rebuilding, just do it. But don't stick with somebody you're not happy with. If you're happy with them, keep them. But like if you're on the fence about them, just get rid of him. He's going to be expensive. Why do you want to be chained down to an expensive quarterback? Surround him with players that, if you're not sold on him, and surround him with players that he might not be on your team long enough to play with. You know, it's like you got to be sure.
That's the thing, like, I believe that they are dedicated to Jalen Hurts because when they paid him too, Howie Roseman's put everything he could around Jalen Hurts for him to be successful. But maybe they're not. And if you're like, you know, we want to strip it down and rebuild, trade Jalen Hurts. I guarantee you can get a haul for that kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know Jalen Hurts is a franchise guy. He might not be the greatest quarterback, but he is a guy that's got stability. You got stability at quarterback. You got your guy. And, you know, trade him away to go back into the draft and try to find one. I mean, the Cowboys are having the same problem this year. Like, I don't think Dak's that quarterback. I really don't. I don't think he's, you know, going to get the Cowboys over the hump. But it's like they don't want to let go of him because they know how hard it is to go back to the well and find that guy. So, you know, they're trying to hang on to him, you know, and build a team around him. But it's like, eventually at one point, you know, you got to stop paying this kid money and you got to move on and find somebody. I know it's going to be hard. You might be searching the desert for a while, but you got to do it because, you know, you're going to be doing the same thing over and over and you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
But
all right, man.
Anyway, we've been going for almost an hour and 50 minutes. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We both gave our predictions on what each team and what we think they're going to do and who's going to make the playoffs. We're glad you guys tuned in tonight. It was really fun, Baylor. I had fun with you.
Thanks for having me those last 2 weeks, guys.
Yep. Maybe we can get you back on the show sometime in the future, but thank you for coming on and filling in for Muhammad these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.